Brian Garcia. Brian, the warning coordination meteorologist with the National Weather Service office out of the Bay Area. And Brian, do you want to start things off with the overview that we're talking about at this point? I know you just issued some red flag warnings for the day tomorrow. So meteorologically speaking, what are we looking at for the rest of the day and into tomorrow?
Yeah, so for the rest of the day, meteorologically speaking, we're looking at some light winds, but those winds are going to be shifting around from kind of a southwest onshore flow and slowly moving their way to the northwest and eventually out to the north and northeast by the time we get into tomorrow and tomorrow night. And what we're going to see for tomorrow is a very similar setup to what we saw Sunday night into Monday, but by nowhere as extreme as we saw Sunday night into Monday. So we'll see that pressure gradient tighten down. We'll see the winds really start to pick up again, but we're not going to see those gusts like we saw on Sunday night into Monday for Wednesday night into Thursday, but still very dangerous conditions.
Brian, what kind of wind gusts are you talking about that came in there the other night on Sunday night? How high did they get?
Yeah, Sunday night across the North Bay County, Sonoma, Napa, even out into Alameda County, we saw wind gusts upwards of 40 to 60 miles per hour with some peak gusts upwards of 75 to 79 miles per hour. I wouldn't be surprised if across some of the peaks that we actually topped 80 miles per hour, but we just don't have observations everywhere.
And Brian, one of the worst hit areas, and we've actually been showing some of the video from Santa Rosa. You were just telling us before we came on the air. Just tell us about the conditions that were in Santa Rosa just before dawn yesterday. I mean, just absolutely stunning, weren't they?
Yeah, it was. It's been an incredible, and not in a good way, a very sad way, incredible series of events with the winds coming in. We still don't have an answer as to why the fire started, but with the winds that were going through, with the dry conditions that were present, with the dry fuels to be able to burn, it was amazing how once they got started, these fires really just exploded overnight Sunday and right on through Monday morning. The fire emergency management officials, they weren't even bothering with the fire. They were trying to get people out and going door to door overnight, telling people to run, to get out of here.
Gosh. Brian, with this next storm system coming on in that's going to kick the winds up, are you guys expecting to get any precipitation at all from it?
Great question. I wish that we were, but again, we're going to be void of precipitation with this system that's coming through tomorrow night into Thursday. It's just going to be winds again.
Oh, gosh, Brian. And kind of my final question here is something we were also speaking about just before we came on the air was the comparisons to the 1991 Oakland Hills fire, which is the standout fire event for the Bay Area. And you were saying that this is relatively similar meteorologically, isn't it?
Yeah, the conditions for the Oakland Hills fire back in the early 90s, it's eerily similar to what's set up for Sunday night into Monday for North Bay. And when we saw that, the numerical models actually did a very good job in terms of picking up the threat of the winds for Sunday night into Monday. And so we were able to forecast it several days out ahead. We didn't have the tools in the early 90s that we have today. So it gave us a lot of options to get the word out days ahead of time. So people knew what was going on ahead of time, and they were able to prepare for it a little bit. But of course, we never know where the fires are going to start.
Yeah, some fantastic information there, Brian. Thanks for joining us here this evening, and our thoughts and concerns with you guys out there. Hopefully those winds aren't as bad coming up tonight as they were back on Sunday night. The winds, though, have been gusting, Chris, still 20, 30 miles an hour in many locations across California this evening, so something we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on out there. And here's our wind forecast. Let's head back to that as we get into the day there on Tuesday and then into Wednesday, Chris. Watch these winds kicking up around 20 miles an hour sustained and higher gusts.
And that is not good news. We're going to the latest on the fires as well as a look at the severe threat out east coming up right here on Weather Nation.